In this video, we are going to find the intersection of a line and a circle. This is going to be in the form of a word problem or real-world problem. The diagram below shows a dodgeball circle placed on a coordinate system whose units represent feet. The radius of the circle is 20 feet. The path of the ball thrown is represented by a line with the equation 2x plus y equals negative 20. At what point or points, if any, does the path of the ball intersect the circle? So, the path of the ball is a straight line. Here's a circle. Basically, we're finding the intersection of this line and this circle. We're going to have to do that algebraically. We don't even have a grid or anything, so we're going to need the equation of the circle and the equation of that line. So looking at the equation of the line given, let's get a y by itself by subtracting 2x from both sides. So that's going to give us y equals negative 2x minus 20. So now let's talk about the equation of the circle. You see the center there is at negative 40 comma 30. So that means an equation of the circle would be x plus 40, x plus 40 squared plus y minus 30 squared is equal to. Now they told us the radius is 20 feet. So here you put the radius squared, so that would be 400. So this is the equation of the circle. In order to do the substitution that we need to do, we need to rewrite this equation in general form. Let's see, how much room do I have over here? Okay, so we need to take this and rewrite it like this. X plus 40 squared is like x plus 40 times x plus 40. And y minus 30 squared is y minus 30 times y minus 30. Okay, and then that's equal to 400. So we need to multiply this all out. Okay, so we have to do this double distributive property. So I'm going to multiply x here and here, so that's going to give me x squared plus 40x. And then I'm going to double distribute the 40. So 40 times x, that's another 40x. And then 40 times 40 is 1,600. Now, again, over here, I'm going to distribute the y. So y times y is y squared. Y times negative 30 is negative 30y. If I do the same thing, distributing the negative 30 times y is another negative 30y. Negative 30 times negative 30 is positive 900. And then that equals 400. Okay, so if I imagine that I subtract 400 from both sides right now. So minus 400 minus 400. So those would cancel out, and this together is 500. Okay, so go ahead and view this as a 500. So I'm just going to reorganize this a little bit. So I've got x squared plus y squared. 40x plus 40x is 80x. And then negative 30y and negative 30y, that's negative 60y. So that takes care of all my variables. That just leaves my constants. So that's 1,600 plus 500. So that's going to be 2,100. So I've got plus 2,100 is equal to 0. Alright, so now it is time to substitute this expression. So we have to take what y equals. So y equals negative 2x minus 20. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to substitute it in right here, because that's where y is, and right here, because that's also where y is. Okay, so negative 2x minus 20. So if I do that, so I'm still going to have my x squared, but then where I have y squared, I'm going to put parentheses to get ready to substitute. And like I said, that's going to be negative 2x minus 20. And then plus 80x minus 60. Okay, and that'll be negative 2x minus 20 again for that y. And then I'll just have my plus 2,100 equals 0. So we just have to simplify this out. Okay, so I've got my x squared. This has to be written out as a binomial times a binomial. So this will be negative 2x minus 20 times negative 2x minus 20. Okay, and then I pick up from here with the plus 80x. Now I'm going to distribute this. Negative 60 is distributing. So negative 60 times negative 2, that's going to be positive 120 x. And then negative 60 times negative 20 is going to be positive 1,200. Okay. And then I'll have, picking up from here, then I have plus 2,100 is equal to 0. So there's my x squared. So right here I'm going to have to do a double distributive property. So I'm going to take my negative 2x and distribute. So negative 2x times negative 2x is positive 4x squared. Negative 2x times negative 20 is positive 40x. Okay. Now I'm going to distribute the negative 20. Negative 20 times negative 2x is again positive 40x. Negative 20 times negative 20 is positive 400. Okay, then I pick up from here with my 80x. Okay, and then I've got my 120x. In fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and combine a couple of these as I go. Alright, now that I've done all this, I'm going to go ahead and put these together. So the 80x and the 120x, that makes a nice convenient 200x. And then this over here, we have 1,200 plus 2,100. That's going to become 3,300. Equals 0. So combining more like terms, x squared plus 4x squared is going to give us 5x squared. And now I have 40x plus 40x, that's 80x, plus 200x, that's 280x. And then I have 400 plus 3,300. So that is 3,700 is equal to 0. Notice that all of these are divisible by 5. So why not make your life easier by dividing all of these by 5? So that's going to give us x squared plus 56x plus 740. Alright, when I see numbers this big, I go straight for the quadratic formula. So quadratic formula says x is going to equal the opposite of b, so that's negative 56, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac. Now a is 1, so I don't need to write that down. So I'll just go ahead and do c, which is 740, all over 2a. Well, 2 times 1 is just 2. So this is going to get me my answers. Okay, I like to calculate the discriminant first, so the part that's under the radical. I'm going to do that separately. So 56 squared minus 4 times 740. Okay, so my discriminant is 176. So that gives me negative 56 plus or minus the square root of 176 over 2. Okay, so we need decimals, so I'm going to use the calculator, and I'm going to type in this whole thing, once with a plus and once with a minus. So negative 56. So fraction mode, so we'll go negative 56 plus square root of 176 over 2. Okay, so that gives us this. We'll toggle it. So that's negative 21.4. I'm rounding. Okay, now I'm going to type it in again with a negative. Okay, so I'm going to go back to what I typed in before real quick. Hit enter. That leaves it editable. And I can just switch it to a minus. So I get this, I toggle it, so that's negative 34.6. Okay, so these are my two x values. Now I need the two y values that go with them. Remember that y equals negative 2x minus 20. Alright, that's the equation of the line that we had right from the start. So I like to make a table of values to help me think of it and organize my work. So we have one x value that is negative 21.4. So negative 21.4. And then we have another x value that's negative 34.6. So negative 34.6. To get the y values, I'm going to use this equation. Okay, so if I want this y value, then I will have negative 2 times negative 21.4 minus 20. Okay, so that's 22.8. Similarly, if I wanted to find this y value, I substitute in negative 34.6 and I get 49.2. And that is why the final answer is the 2 points of intersection of this the path of the thrown ball and the dodgeball circle are negative 21.4 comma 22.8 and negative 34.6 comma 49.2. Here endeth the lesson.